to heal as mothers, especially mothers, is because we do not want to be projecting and throwing stuff on our children that we have no idea we're doing. All right, hey y'all, it's Erica, and I am here for a little more deeper video. I am kind of nervous about making a video like this because I feel like people get weird about healing, about inner work, and stuff like that. But I will be doing a disservice if I didn't tell y'all about this, because when I say this was such a game changer in my healing journey, and that is shadow work. Shadow work. If you have any experience with shadow work, let me know in the comments. But if you want to know more about shadow work, how it's helped me in my healing journey to become a better version of myself, helping my triggers, figuring out my triggers, figuring out my projections, figuring out my issues, stay tuned. All right, y'all, if y'all don't know, I'm Erica. I'm a mother of 5, and I am here to help, And I am here to tell you all how I am on a journey to be my best self, to be a better mother, to heal generational curses, to break them, to be the best version of myself inside and out for me, for my family, for my children, so that they can go heal something else. But the stuff that I need to heal, I am gonna do it. I am just really big on just being the best, highest version of myself. I have been on a journey for years now. And if you don't know, I used to be on YouTube, and I had to get off because I was not the best version of myself anymore, and I had to take a break. And I'm just here to give you all the things that I've learned during that time, and also to find a community of women that are on the same journey, because this journey can get isolating. It can get lonely because a lot of people don't care about their inner self, their inner wounds, their issues, and they don't care about fixing them. They don't even care about acknowledging them, let alone fixing them. And so sometimes it can feel a little isolating. So I really want to find a community of women that are looking to become the best version of themselves, to truly heal themselves. So the topic for today is shadow work, and an exercise that I have done before that I just got reintroduced to because I'm starting my shadow work back up again. Let's first start off with my definition of healing. This is what I feel like healing is. I feel like healing is almost like when you think about something that's broke, healing. So when something is broke, so say I broke my arm. Let's start there. Let's say I broke my arm and it needs to heal. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a cast on, and I'm gonna kind of keep it like stable so that it can heal. And then while it's healing, I gotta kind of be a little careful around it, but I can't do everything that I used to do. I probably can't brush my teeth the same. I probably can't write the same. I probably can't, things are different. It has affected my life. Vice versa, also when we get wounded, like internally, something happens to us and it hurts, and we have to find a way to go through life with it. So, and y'all, I'm coming up with this off the top of my head. I have nothing planned. I'm literally just reading my book and I'm like, I'm finna make a video about this. I'm sorry, I'm about to make a video, so bear with me. But you are going through life and it hurts. But you got stuff to do, so you find ways to live with it. So for your arm, it would be a cast. For our inner wounds and things that hurt us, it could be depression. That's a way to cope. You could use alcohol. That's a way to cope. Sometimes people just stay busy, but you can't live life the same. You can't go about doing all the stuff you used to do because this thing has affected you, because it's hurt. But for our arm, eventually it will heal. If we give it the time, and we got to keep it in that cast. We gotta give it the things it needs. We gotta go to the therapy. We gotta, you know, somebody got to teach us how to move it again and stuff like that. But at some point it heals. And my arm is now free to help me do my hair again and write and brush my teeth. And that's how I see healing internally as well. We have to give it attention. We have to nurture it. We have to go maybe to a therapist, get spiritual, all the things until it's healed. And the way I know I'm healed, and I truly be knowing when I'm healed, is when I can face that wound or that trauma and I can see it for what it is. I can look at it for what it is. It's not affecting me no more. It's not, I don't feel that reaction in my body if I think about it again. I don't avoid it. And I can look at it whatever that wound was, maybe with compassion, maybe with empathy. If it requires forgiveness, I can see myself and forgive myself. But that's how I know I'm healed. But that's what I see healing as. And so I feel like it's very important to heal as mothers, especially mothers, is because we do not want to be projecting and throwing stuff on our children that we have no idea we're doing. Some stuff we won't know we're doing. And my kids are gonna come to me and say, "Ma, you da 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 da," and I am ready to listen to whatever they tell me I did that I wasn't aware of. But the stuff that we are aware of, we are responsible for. So the things that you're projecting, your triggers, all that, we have to figure this out. We have to figure it out because it has to stop. We cannot allow our children to suffer knowingly with our junk, with our crap, without trying our best to change. And that is me. Having children for me is one of the hardest, most rewarding things I have done in my life. Because when I say it's so hard, I be getting emotional. It's so hard to have the responsibility of another life and making sure you love and nurture that life. But it's so rewarding because I have become such an amazing version of myself during this process. Even with all the ugliness, even with all the crap, is so much beauty in this journey. The first part I want to read is why shadow work is important. There are many benefits to shadow work. Your pains and triggers can be guides to help you understand what you deeply care about, bringing you closer to your life purpose. Conversely, you will come to identify toxic patterns in your life and change them completely. Another benefit of shadow work is that you will develop more courage and confidence to face the unknown and embody your whole self. You will develop deeper love, acceptance, and understanding of yourself, which helps improve your relationship with others. Practicing shadow works help you separate from your egotistical thoughts and will increase your empathy and compassion for others. Compassion in turn helps exercise other forms of positive emotions like gratitude, which can better your mental and physical health. But failure to face and deal with the shadow elements can be the seed of adversities and prejudice between unrepresented groups or individuals, and can trigger anything from a small argument to a major war. Recognizing shadow elements is an integral part of becoming a compassionate and reasonable individual. And I used to kind of be like, "Ooh, that sounds scary, shadow work." But honestly, we are just trying to figure out what is going on with us so that we can be more emotionally mature, emotionally stable, very aware of what is going on, so that we are not hurting other people. I just think about it like stabbing other people because we're hurt. We have to know why we're doing it, if we're doing it, and we need to even be aware that we are doing it. Some people aren't even aware. But it's taking ownership of your crap. And I'll take ownership of my crap. So it's called How to Spot Your Shadow Self. Spotting your shadow self often begins with noticing your triggers, recognizing patterns in your behavior and life experiences, and understanding your projection. So the first one can be noticing your triggers. So triggers are things that produce like a emotional response that are like intense to where you either want to like get mad, you get like irritated, like it's just like something just like, ooh, ooh. That's your shadow. That's something deep up in there that happened and you need to figure out what it is, because triggers, they don't be making no sense. Y'all, I got one trigger and I'm gonna figure it out. I'm being a little vulnerable. I'm gonna figure it out. My kids, when they be laughing, like, when I say laughing, like giggling, like, I be like, oh my God. If I tell any sane person, giggling, lots of giggling triggers me, they'll be like, girl, she weird. But I know it's a trigger, and a trigger is something where it on the surface is so like, it's not even that deep, but it's something within you that it gets an intense emotion out of you. So that's what I see a trigger as. How to spot your shadow self. Number 2 is recognizing your patterns. The patterns we're looking here are repetitive behaviors that may not serve you but seem hard to break from. So people have like addictions, even like my phone, that's a pattern for me that I need to always be on. I don't play, but that's a pattern. It's a pattern that you do, and you do it for a reason. If you're a very big like scroller, it's something that's making you do that. It's a pattern, and you need to figure out why. Because once you figure out why, then you can have the power to change it. But if we're going through life having these patterns, having these things that we're doing over and over again, and we're not trying to figure out why, we'll keep doing it. Another pattern I have is like, I have very great moments where I wake up in the morning and then I'll start back sleeping in. Or another pattern, it's like, I try my hardest to break free from it, and even though it's not best for me, I do it anyway, and I am doing the shadow work for that. But yeah, that's why I got back into my work. Understanding your projections. Number 3, projections are aspects of ourselves that we unconsciously place onto others. These can be qualities that we both admire and detest. So I believe this one's very important for being a mom, because you do not want to be projecting things onto your children that are not theirs, and it's you, and you don't even realize it's you just projecting your stuff on them, whether it's good or bad. And I do it. I'm very cautious. I'm very aware that I do this, but I'm trying to become more aware of what I'm projecting so that I can be more aware to either just keep it in check, honestly. Number 4, paying attention to dreams. I dream a lot. And then your dreams tell you a lot about what's going on deep down within you. Yeah. And number 5, explore your childhood and past experiences. Reflect on your childhood, your family dynamics, and significant life events. Identify any unresolved issues, traumas, or unmet needs that might have contributed to the development of your shadows, because what our shadows are doing is really trying to help us cope. And we have to, at some point, grow up and figure it out. And I think that's what happens as children. We're just finding ways to cope through life. But that stuff doesn't just automatically go away. Once we become mature and our brains become mature, our spirits become mature, it's time to figure it out so that it stops affecting us, so we stop acting like little kids. Me included. And it's also very good to work with a professional during this time. I highly recommend a therapist. Highly recommend. And a therapist with your spiritual beliefs. I believe that it helps a lot. It helps a lot during this process. But signs that you need to work with a professional: overwhelming emotions. It's just too much. Number 2, you have reoccurring dreams or nightmares, or you feel yourself like socially withdrawing from loved ones, because this work can get it can get a lot sometimes. And that's why I don't do it like every day. But I have my moments where I'm like, okay, I see some repetitive patterns in my life. I'm seeing some negative things that I don't like. It's time to start doing my shadow work. I have to be very aware, because if you do this every day, it'll be too much. It'll be too much. So, now that I gave you a backstory on shadow work, which I will have this book linked below, I'm gonna go into the first exercise that I did that encouraged me to make this video, because I realized how far I've come, okay? So this exercise is called wound mapping. And this exercise, and I'm looking down because I'm reading, is done to identify your inner child wounds. Examine the attributes listed on this. I have attributes listed. And then the 4 main types of inner child wounds are trust, guilt, neglect, and abandonment. It is possible that one or more of these may resonate with your personal experience. So why this is important? Being hurt or traumatized, particularly during childhood, can be deeply painful. This exercise aims to help you identify emotional wounds from your childhood that may still impact you today. And it's going to be impacting your mothering and your womanhood if we don't figure this out. These wounds often lead to negative behaviors and thought patterns that do not serve you well. So they could be holding you back from being your best self. They could be making you feel like you're not good enough. They could be making you anxious. They could be it could be stuff that's going on within you that's making you have these thoughts and patterns and you don't even know. And it could be affecting you and holding you back from living your best life. But by recognizing and understanding your inner child wounds, you can cultivate a greater sense of compassion and lay the foundation for a successful shadow work journey. So this was such a great exercise when I first got introduced to shadow work, because it really, really showed me where I've been truly hurt, where what I need to kind of focus on. It kind of gave me a focus point. And I did this exercise, and y'all, I had stuff from all 4 of them, but one was the most, and it was abandonment. And that was a big one for me. That was like my top one. And without even thinking, I came to do wound mapping again. And abandonment isn't something I even resonate with anymore. And I was like, huh, that's crazy. That was my top one last 2 years ago. I started this. That was my top one. And I don't even resonate with that one. I didn't even realize it. And that's what prompted me to make this video, because I was like, wow, I do not resonate with abandonment anymore. Now I resonate with the other ones. Now I got another one to work on. But that was so eye-opening to me, because getting that out and noticing it and focusing on it, it's like you don't see your healing in real time. But for me to come back to this same exercise, and abandonment was not something I resonated with anymore, just really, really, really brought me hope that things do get better, especially when we are focused, when we are genuine, when our intentions are pure. And God knows my intentions are pure. God knows I'm trying to heal so I can raise the children that God has given me. But I'm gonna go through each wound, and I want you to either take out a piece of paper or get some note or your notes app and give these things points. So if you resonate with one of the points, put how many you resonated with. So each one has 5. No, 5, like 5 to 7. So just see how many. And whichever one you got the most points is usually the one you really need to focus on. It's the biggest wound, but you may have them from everywhere, which I do. So I'm first gonna start with the trust wound. 1 is afraid to be hurt. 2, doesn't trust themselves. 3, find ways to not trust people. 4, feels insecure and needs lots of external validation. 5, doesn't feel safe. 6, normally attracts people who don't make them feel safe. So that is the trust wound. I want you to get the points, how many you resonated with of the trust wound. All right, the second wound is the guilt wound. So number 1, feel sorry or bad. Like when something happens, you always feel sorry or bad. 2, doesn't like to ask for things. 3, uses guilt to manipulate. 4, is afraid to set boundaries. 5, normally attracts people who make them feel guilty. All right, the third one is the neglect wound. 1, struggles to let things go. 2, has low self-worth. 3, gets angry easily. 4, struggles to say no. 5, represses emotions. 6, fears being vulnerable. And 7, normally attracts people who don't appreciate them or make them feel seen. And then the 4th is the abandonment wound, which is number 1, feels left out, quote unquote. 2, fears being left. 3, hates being alone. 4, codependent. 5, threatens to leave. And 6, normally attracts emotionally unavailable people. So these are the 4 major wounds that some of us have, most of us have. And usually 1 or 2 you really resonate with. Right now, I'm focused on, I'm not gonna get too personal because when I'm doing my shadow work, I don't like people all in my business. Sorry, I'll let you know when I heal from it. But when I really find the wound that's really operating in my life, I like to really go head on about it. Visualize, pray, journal, affirmations, focus on that specific wound and really just tackle it head on. So if you feel vulnerable enough to share, I really want this to be a safe space for us. Anybody that's any bit of negative, and y'all even knew from my last channel, will not even get a reply from me. It will get immediately deleted. I don't feed no energy, and I don't want y'all feeding it. I want this to be a safe place where people be like, if you leave stuff over there, ain't nobody even gonna say nothing, so it ain't worth your time. So I want us to feel safe, and I definitely want to feel that sense of community. But if you resonate or if you feel vulnerable enough to share, I would love to know what you are working on right now. And if you all share, maybe I can get a little vulnerable and share. But I'm not gonna be the one telling all my business first. So yes, you guys, I hope this video helped you. Let me know if you like it. I can go through more exercises with you guys. That can help if you just want to watch videos about shadow work. If I come across something that I feel led to share, I'll share it, any information. But let me know if y'all like these deeper type videos, because I really only want to make videos that y'all want to see. And that sounds very weird, like, oh, you should start YouTube and do it for yourself. No, I only have a little bit of time in my day. I'm doing this to serve others. So whatever y'all want to see is what I will want to create, because I don't want this to be just about me. I want this to be a bigger purpose, a bigger mission than just me. I know what I need to know. I don't need this information. I want to give it to the women that need this so that they can be their best selves, the best version of themselves, the highest version of themselves. And we start doing that by working internally, and then it starts to show outwardly. So yes, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.